News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Two views of Medicaid expansion. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, March the 3rd, 2015. Well, around Missoula right now, the roads are looking pretty good, but once you get outside Missoula, it's snow-packed and icy from the winter storm that blew through here last night. I-90 east and west is snow-packed and icy right now. Highway 93 south from Florence to Lost Trail Pass is snow-packed and icy. Highway 93 north to Kalispell is also snow-packed and icy at this time. Highway 200 to Clearwater Junction and Highway 12 from Lolo Pass to Lolo, all reporting snow-packed and icy conditions at this time. And that's why there is a winter weather advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. Our newscast sponsored by Dr. Troy Doxey and the friendly team at Chiropractic Works. For your appointment, call 728-0222. Two proposals to expand Medicaid in Montana would have drastically different outcomes on state finances, according to the Associated Press. Governor Steve Bullock's plan to put an additional 65,000 Montanans on Medicaid would save the state $80 million over the next 4 years, and then require the state to contribute 10% of the roughly $683 million biennial expansion costs. A Republican counterproposal heard in the legislature last week would immediately cost the state more than $20 million. Representative Nancy Ballant says House Bill 455 is a backup to cover certain needy people in case the larger expansion fails the state House. The Republican plan was originally touted as an alternative to the Democratic one. The governor's budget director calls the Republican proposal an excuse not to expand Medicaid coverage. A recent AP story said following a loss of 2 million construction jobs during the recession, the industry is making a healthy recovery. Chief economist for the Montana Department of Labor, Barbara Wagner, said the recession took a huge toll on construction jobs in the state.
Construction was pretty hard hit during the recession. In Montana, we lost about 30% of the employment in the industry. That was over 9,000 jobs. So certainly one of the hardest hit industries in Montana.
Wagner said western Montana, though, has been recovering slowly but surely over the past year.
It doesn't sound like very many, but over the past year we've added about 300 jobs in construction in northwest Montana, but that's actually a 3.8% growth, which is a nice number to see over the year.
How bad was the recession? Wagner says her projections show that construction in Montana won't return to pre-recession job levels until after the year 2020. A former girls basketball coach at Lone Peak High School in Big Sky, who's accused of raping two of his players, will remain jailed on $750,000 bail. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports District Judge John Brown issued an order Monday saying 22-year-old Kyle Kokot's bail will remain in effect. Kokot posted $250,000 bail after his arrest, but was arrested again earlier this month for allegedly defying the judge's order that he have no contact with the alleged victims and witnesses in the case. Kindergarten registrations getting started a month earlier than usual this year, primarily due to a larger number of students expected in Missoula Public Schools. I spoke with Director of Communications for MCPS Hatton Littman yesterday. She says class sizes are continuing to grow.
Our current class of fifth grade students, those students that are fifth graders in our schools right now, is probably the smallest class size we're going to see for the next decade. We anticipate that our facilities will be maxed out in the next 2 years.
Littman says the number of students signals the need for the upcoming bond issue to pass over $150 million so that newer, bigger schools can be built.
And that's why we've been planning ahead for the past 2 years to present a bond to taxpayers in November and expand those facilities. We expect that by 2023, we're going to have over 900 more students in our schools.
Littman says those who wish to register their kindergartners may do so online for the first time. You can find the link to online registration on our website, the story we've posted at newstalkkgvo.com. Civil rights attorneys are due in federal court today to argue that hundreds of racist emails from Montana's former chief U.S. district judge should be preserved as potential evidence in future lawsuits. Attorneys for the federal judiciary are seeking to dismiss the case. They say in court filings the emails from Judge Richard Siebel are confidential and cannot be released under federal law. Flathead cherry growers are looking for big ideas to help the sweet Northwest Montana cherries reach new markets. Montana Agriculture Department Communications Director Jason O'Neill says there's a $10,000 grant waiting for the perfect idea.
Through a voluntary program of the cherry industry, they created a checkoff fund which goes to an account that enables these grants to be used to advance the industry through market research, promotion, and also research on such things as fruit flies and other pests that might harm the production of sweet cherries in Montana.
O'Neill says flathead cherries play a significant role in the Montana economy, despite being a specialty crop from one single region.
It's been doing well. We had a dip in prices that affected the industry a couple years ago, and those prices have rebounded to almost double the value of the industry last year. So in 2012, the total industry value was about $2 million, and last year it was nearly $4 million.
Ideas must be submitted to the Department of Agriculture before the end of March to qualify for that grant money. Greg Gianforte, the founder of Right Now Technologies, is donating $1 million to Montana State University to help the school educate and graduate more computer science majors. The donation from Gianforte Family Foundation, announced yesterday, includes $500,000 for the Gianforte Faculty Fellows Program to support the recruitment and retention of computer science professors, and another $500,000 to increase space for those teaching and studying computer sciences. Cancer, determination, community, and daytime television all played a role in a touching story out of Miles City. After a 5-year fight with ovarian cancer, Rosa Neese still had one more item to check off her bucket list. She wanted to visit the Ellen DeGeneres show. However, commercial airlines could not take her because of her health condition. Lonnie Leslie, president of Lawn Air Flying Services, told our John King that he volunteered his plane and time to help Rosa make that trip.
One of her last wishes was to go to the Ellen show. She'd been down there once before, I think a year or so ago, and wasn't able to get in, but then they happened to get some tickets here kind of at the last minute, and she was on oxygen and not healthy and unable to travel commercially and couldn't handle the drive down there, and so we were able to fly them down there in our plane.
Leslie said many in the Miles City community helped Rosa's dream come true by donating everything from hotel rooms to meals. It was an exciting trip for the friends and family who were able to accompany Rosa to California. Not only did she get a hug from Ellen DeGeneres, she was also able to make one last trip to the Pacific Coast.
She was just wore out. She enjoyed the show. After the show, they went down to the Santa Monica Pier where she'd been before. Was able to eat supper down there and got to go in the ocean again. But coming back, she was pretty quiet. She was pretty tired. It was the next day. But everybody was excited and everybody was happy she got to go.
Last Saturday, Rosa Ann Neese passed away at the age of 56, just days after completing her bucket list. Our News Talk time is 6:10.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly sunny skies and cold today. With wind gusts up to around 20 miles per hour, it will feel like it's below zero this morning. Afternoon highs will eventually warm into the mid to upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.